Okay, 1974, 1975. I'm with my wife and another couple, the Colorado River, camped out on the bank of the river right by a bridge, and we're tripping. And what has happened is we're around a big campfire, and my wife made the campfire. My wife at the time, her name is Sharon, and it was the first campfire she ever made. And I didn't think too much about it, but she had made it from debris from inside the car, trash bags and things like that. Well, it turns out that one of the trash bags had a box of 20 shells in it from a hunting trip that I'd been on the year before, where I was like trying to shoot rabbits and I couldn't shoot a rabbit. I just couldn't do it. So all the shells were unused. So there's a bag filled with 22 shells sitting in the middle of a bonfire with 4 people around it who are peeking acid about 4 feet away. All right? So we're having a great time. We're looking at the moon. The sky is sort of fragmenting prismatically into, auras or auroras of light, and it's all very, very wonderful. And there's one of the logs kind of goes like that, and I thought, well, this wood's kind of sparky, and a bunch of sparks flew out, and I didn't think anything of it. Of course, I was sort of free associating at the time. Just a couple of seconds later, nothing happened again. A little explosion. Some pieces flew out of the fire, and it takes you a second to realize what's so-called consensus reality and what's subjective reality. And at that time, I heard kind of a pew, and in one of those sort of insightful, just instantaneous flashes, I knew what had happened. The shells, I hadn't even thought about the shells in 6 months, but I knew exactly what had happened. So I had to put the fire out. So I don't know how I'm functioning because I'm peeking on acid. I can barely move. I can barely crawl. I'm grabbing people and pushing them behind the car as these 22 shells are going like that. So I think I've got to put the fire out. So, and I'm actually not quite fully peaked. It's coming on like a locomotive at this time. And I start crawling down toward the water with a bucket. I have no idea where I got the bucket. Don't ask. I go down to the water. I'm in the dark. The ground is kind of undulating. Like, I seem to recall an image of it being like a bunch of snakes, kind of snakes in mud, except it was solid ground. Crawl down to the river. I get a bucket of water. I crawl back to the fire. Now I'm a commando. I'm crawling across the ground like this, and these 22 shells are going like that out of the fire. And about this time, this guy comes kind of bopping down the road going, "Hey, man, somebody at us. What's going on?" That's my memory of it. Whether the guy was there or not, I'm not really sure. I have the bucket of water. I'm creeping up stealthily on the fire, and about this time, I'm pretty much fully on from the acid. And I get right in front of the fire. Now, I haven't thought through the consequences of throwing a bucket of cold water into a roaring bonfire at a range of about 2 feet while you're on acid. I get up there, I dump the water in, I'm kind of looking down at it, and of course there's this violent steam explosion, which I see in kind of separate jump cuts. First there's no explosion, and then there's, it sort of goes like that, and just knocks me backward. Not that I actually got hit by anything, but just perceptually knocking backward, and I fell down the bank into the water. So I'm laying in the Colorado River. There's this big, volcano of steam, and the tragedy was averted. There were 2 holes in the car, and and no one was hurt. So let that be a lesson to you, kids.
What?
Another lesson. Another related tragedy. No. Obviously, don't hunt rabbits.